Let's take a look at how biological sex is determined. And so our sex cells, egg and sperm, are unique from the other cells of the body in that they only contain one sex chromosome each. So other cells in the body, for example, in females will contain X and an X, and in males will contain an X and an Y. The actual eggs or sperm cells contain only one sex chromosome. So an X, a single X if it's a female, or an X or a Y if it's a male. And then in the process of fertilization, we get the combination of one of the female's sex cells with one of the male sex cells. We can see that there are two possibilities.
Fertilized egg, an XY fertilized egg. And then, as we said, the first 6 weeks of human development are anatomically, histologically indistinguishable in male and female. We progress up to the 7-week stage right here, and it's only at this point that the SRY gene fires and leads to the birth of a male or female.
So we can see that a gene on the Y chromosome, the SRY gene, is going to be critical in the physical differentiation between male and female. So if we take a look at sex determination, we can see again the SRY gene being a factor, right? Why? Because this SRY gene contains an HY antigen. That sends a signal to the testes that are going to develop in the fetus. The testes will start to produce testosterone, and that leads to the development of external male genitalia. At the same time, the testes will also release something called Mullerian inhibiting factor. This is going to inhibit what would otherwise support the development of female reproductive organs. And so it's a twofold process where female reproductive organs are inhibited. So female sexual development is sort of inhibited, and male sexual development is expressed and supported through the development of the external male genitalia. Now there's this concept called bipotentiality, and that is reflected in that there is no differentiation early on between biological male and biological female. So the initial development is absolutely identical in both males and females. And in addition, the external reproductive structures, the genitals, develop from a single bipotential precursor. So this precursor has the potential to support typical male development or typical female development. And differentiation doesn't occur until the 2nd month of development. And testosterone leads to the development of male structures, and without testosterone, female structures are going to develop. And we can see here in the middle that the undifferentiated stage of development, those first 2 months, we see that there are two parallel systems in place, a Mullerian duct system that will support female reproductive organs and a Wolffian duct system that will support male reproductive organs. Once differentiation happens, then in males, the Mullerian system is inhibited and only the male system, the Wolffian duct system, will develop, leading to the development of testes and a penis and so on. And in a differentiated female, the Mullerian system develops, leading to a uterus, a cervix, a vagina, and so on. So the bipotentiality is seen here in that there are two systems in place initially to support the development of both male and female reproductive organs. And we can see here how the same tissue develops into either typical male or typical female structures. And so we can see here that at 6 weeks, it's undifferentiated. During the 2nd trimester, there is differentiation, and then that differentiation continues and the tissues develop again into either the typical male or typical female. Now there are of course variations in sexual development precisely because of this bipotentiality. Because the body has that potential to support male and female physical structures and physical development, there is going to be variation. And so there are cases of individuals who are genetically XY, so have an XY chromosome pattern, but have an outward physical appearance of a female, of a typical female. Why? In this case, this is an individual who has insensitivity to androgens. It's called androgen insensitivity, and essentially it's what it sounds like. The cells of the body are not sensitive to the androgens. Well, that means that the testes that are producing testosterone are not going to have much of an effect because the cells of the body do not respond to testosterone. And in the absence of any functioning testosterone, we get typical female development. And so we see this pattern here. And so because this is an individual with XY chromosomes, they will not be able to reproduce, and they will also not have body hair because of the low levels of testosterone in their body, because of their androgen sensitivity. And body hair in both males and females is a response to levels of testosterone. Now here on the right, we have adrenogenital syndrome, XX chromosomes, and yet we can see some development that is similar to what you would see in a genetic male. And it's not exactly, but we are seeing something that looks a lot like the penis, right? And this occurs as a result of excessive adrenal gland activity. And it's just an example of how bipotentiality in our bodies can support and does support the development of male and female external genitals in development. And so because these structures are responding to hormone levels and can support both male and female development, we do see these variations.